Here's the expanded part 1 of your story in 800 words, written in simple English with third-person style and no headings. The night sky above Seoul glowed with unusual lights. Daeho stood on the observatory roof, his telescope pointed at the strange objects that had appeared near the moon. He had worked at the National Space Center for 15 years but never seen anything like this. "Director Kim, you need to see this," called Jisoo, his assistant. She pointed to the computer screen showing radar images of the objects. "They're moving in formation, too precise for asteroids." Daeho adjusted his glasses and leaned closer. The objects were massive, each larger than an aircraft carrier, and they maintained perfect spacing as they approached Earth. His phone rang. It was the defense minister. "Yes, Minister. We're tracking them now," Daeho said. 23 objects moving together. They're slowing down as they approach. Around the world, other observatories had spotted the same formation. News channels broke regular programs to report the sightings. Social media exploded with theories and grainy photos. Some people packed their cars and fled cities while others gathered in parks to watch the sky. In the underground command center beneath Seoul, Daeho joined the emergency meeting. Military officers, scientists, and government officials sat around a large table, their faces tense in the blue light of the screens. "The objects have entered Earth orbit," reported Colonel Sun Ho. "They've positioned themselves above major cities: Seoul, Tokyo, New York, London, Beijing." The room fell silent when the first message came. Every screen, phone, and computer across the planet displayed the same text in local languages. "People of Earth, we are the Luminari Collective. Your world has been selected. Prepare for integration." President Minji turned to Daeho. "What? Does that mean integration?" Before he could answer, the screens changed to show an image of the aliens. They were tall and slender with pale blue skin that seemed to glow. Their limbs were long and thin, their heads large with enormous eyes. They moved with graceful, floating steps in what appeared to be their ship's control room. "We will arrive in 24 hours, the alien speaker said. "Resistance is unnecessary. Your technological level poses no threat. Integration will proceed smoothly if you cooperate." After the transmission ended, chaos erupted in the command center. The defense minister demanded immediate military readiness. The foreign minister wanted to attempt communication. Scientists argued about the aliens' biology and technology. Daeho studied the recorded images of the aliens. "Look at how they move," he said quietly to his colleague Hana. "It's almost like they're floating." Hana nodded. "They're ships too. Those designs couldn't support their own weight in our atmosphere. The materials look incredibly light." That night, world leaders attempted to respond to the Luminari message but received no reply. Military forces worldwide went on highest alert. People either hid in their homes or joined crowds in streets and places of worship. The next morning, exactly 24 hours after the first message, smaller ships detached from the main vessels. These sleek silver craft descended toward Earth's major cities. Daeho watched from the command center as live feeds showed the ships entering the atmosphere. Then something unexpected happened. As the ships descended, they began to shake. Their smooth hulls buckled and warped. The elegant ships suddenly looked like crumpling paper toys. "What's happening to them?" President Minji asked. Daeho looked at Hana, both realizing the same thing. "It's our gravity," he said. They didn't account for Earth's gravitational pull. Around the world, the alien landing craft failed catastrophically. Some exploded mid-air, while others crashed into oceans or fields. The few that managed, controlled. Landings cracked open like eggs upon impact. From the crashed ship outside Seoul, camera drones captured footage of the aliens attempting to exit their vessel. The luminary struggled to stand, their slender limbs bending unnaturally under Earth's gravity. They crawled along the ground, clearly in pain, their bodies not designed for the crushing weight they now experienced. "They come from a low-gravity world," Hana explained to the stunned officials. "Their bodies and technology evolved for perhaps a third of Earth's gravitational force. They simply can't function here." The luminary sent an urgent message from their orbiting motherships. Cease rescue attempts. Your atmosphere is more dense, and your gravitational field stronger than our calculations predicted. We were mistaken about your world's suitability. As military units cautiously approached the crash sites, they found the aliens using devices to create bubbles of reduced gravity around themselves. Even with these aids, the luminary could barely move. Daeho watched, the footage with a mixture of relief and wonder. Earth's most basic physical property, the very force that held humans to the ground, had become humanity's strongest defense against an advanced alien invasion. All this time, he said to Hana, we thought we would need advanced weapons or technology to protect ourselves from aliens. But it was just gravity. The skies above Seoul turned dark as the luminary mothership moved into position. People stared upward, their faces showing both fear and wonder at the massive vessel that blocked the sun. Colonel Ji-woo stood on the military base roof, binoculars fixed on the alien craft. His team waited in tense silence. They're launching something, said Captain Sunmi, pointing to silver objects detaching from the mothership. Landing craft by the dozens emerged from the larger vessel. They looked like elegant teardrops, their surfaces reflecting the morning light. They descended slowly at first, moving with perfect coordination. The aliens had clearly done this many times before on other worlds. All units, maintain positions, Ji-woo ordered through his radio. No engagement unless directly threatened. The world's military forces had been ordered to observe only, as world leaders hoped to avoid a war they couldn't win. The luminary technology was clearly far beyond Earth's capabilities. At least that's what everyone thought until the ships reached the lower atmosphere. The first sign of trouble came when the lead ship began to wobble. Its smooth descent faltered, the teardrop shape suddenly tilting sideways. Metal groaned loudly enough to be heard on the ground. The ship's hull bent inward, crumpling like a soda can being crushed. What's happening? Sunmi asked, lowering her binoculars in shock. Ji-woo watched as more ships showed the same problems. Their sleek designs began to fail, materials bending and breaking. Some ships tried to turn back, engines flaring with bright blue light, but most were already too deep in Earth's gravity well. They can't handle our gravity, he realized. Their ships are too light. The lead vessel crashed into Han River with tremendous force, sending water 20 meters into the air. Others fell across the city outskirts, smashing into empty fields and forests where the military had cleared civilians. Not a single ship managed a proper landing. Emergency teams rushed toward the crash sites, though they maintained safe distance as ordered. From the command center, Ji-woo watched drone footage of the scene. The alien ships had broken apart on impact, revealing interiors made of materials thinner than paper. The technology looked advanced, glowing panels and strange devices, but built with materials that seemed impossibly delicate. Then came the aliens themselves. Camera drones captured footage of luminari trying to exit their broken vessels. The sight was both pitiful and strange. The aliens were tall, nearly 3 meters, with bodies as thin as reeds. Their blue skin had a slight glow, and their 4 long arms moved with obvious pain. Most shocking was their inability to stand. The luminari dragged themselves along the ground, their slender limbs buckling under Earth's gravity. Those who managed to rise collapsed almost immediately as if crushed by invisible weights. They're dying, Sunmi said, watching the screens. Their bodies can't handle our gravity. The aliens attempted to use devices, small discs placed on the ground that created shimmering fields around them. Inside these fields, they could move a little better, though still awkwardly. Scientists later determined these were portable gravity reducers, creating small areas of approximately 0.3 g, the gravity level the luminary evolved with. Similar scenes played out worldwide. Moscow, New York, Cairo, Sydney all reported the same catastrophic landings. The luminary invasion force, which had conquered hundreds of worlds, was being defeated not by human weapons but by Earth itself. In their second transmission, the luminary commander appeared strained, clearly struggling even in the reduced gravity of their ship. This world is unsuitable. Your gravity exceeds our projections by 214%. Cease approach to our vessels, we will withdraw. President Minji called an emergency meeting of world leaders. We need to decide quickly, she told the assembled group. Do we help them or take advantage of their weakness? That decision became more complicated when scientists examining the crash sites discovered the true extent of luminary technology. Despite their physical limitations, their science was centuries beyond Earth's. Anti-gravity devices, energy weapons, and faster-than-light communication technology were all found in the wreckage. We could learn so much from them, Dr. Hana argued. This could advance human technology by hundreds of years. Others disagreed. They came to conquer us, General Young-ho said firmly. We should use this advantage to protect ourselves. Jiwoo was assigned to lead the first contact team. Approaching the crashed ship with his soldiers, he saw the aliens watching them with large, frightened eyes. Using translation devices recovered from the wreckage, the Luminari explained their situation. We have conquered many worlds, a Luminary officer named Bright Whisper told them. All similar to our home. We did not believe intelligent life could evolve on a heavy world. Your bodies are impossible to us. The Luminari had assumed Earth would be like other planets they had found, low-gravity worlds where they could easily move and fight. They had never encountered a species that evolved under such crushing gravity, with dense muscles and strong bones. What you consider normal, Bright Whisper said, struggling to lift a simple water bottle they had been offered, we consider impossible. As night fell over Seoul, emergency lights illuminated the crash sites. In orbit, the Luminari motherships prepared to retrieve their stranded forces. The invasion had failed completely, not because of human resistance but because of a fundamental fact about Earth that humans had always taken for granted: its pull toward the center. The emergency session of the United Nations stretched into its third hour. Representatives from every nation filled the hall, their faces showing a mix of fear and determination. Dr. Taehyun stood at the podium, pointing to the large screen behind him, showing images of the crashed alien ships. The Luminari physiology is remarkably different from our own, he explained, using a laser pointer to highlight the aliens' thin limbs and fragile bone structure. Their homeworld has approximately 1/3 of Earth's gravity. Their bodies simply cannot function in our environment. President Minji leaned toward her microphone. How many of them survived the landings? About 60%, Taehyun replied. They've created artificial low-gravity environments inside their crashed vessels using technology we don't yet understand. Those who ventured outside without protection didn't survive the experience. Defense Minister Young-ho, a man known for his tough stance on security matters, spoke next. We have a rare advantage. Their weapons are advanced but unusable in our gravity. Their soldiers cannot walk on our planet without assistance. We should secure these ships and technology before they can recover. Not everyone agreed with this aggressive approach. Dr. Jinnae, who had spent 3 days communicating with a Luminari captain, stood up from her seat in the science section. The Luminari are not just suffering physically, she said. They're experiencing psychological trauma. They've never failed in an invasion before. They've never encountered a species they couldn't conquer. They're frightened of us. The hall filled with surprised murmurs. The idea that these advanced aliens feared humans seemed impossible just days ago. Jinnae continued. Captain Softlight has shared valuable information. The Luminari have controlled hundreds of planets for thousands of years, all low-gravity worlds. They believed high-gravity planets like Earth could not support intelligent life. Our very existence challenges their understanding of the universe. The debate continued for hours. Some nations wanted immediate military action to secure alien technology. Others proposed peaceful contact. Health officials worried about possible diseases. Scientists wanted to study the aliens and their ships. Meanwhile, at the crash site outside Tokyo, Professor Sun Ho carefully entered the damaged alien vessel. He wore a special suit to protect against unknown contaminants. The ship's interior glowed with soft blue light despite the damage. Materials that looked like metal but felt like paper formed the walls and floors. In the center of the room, 3 Luminari sat inside a shimmering field, their gravity reducer creating a safe environment. They watched Sunho with enormous eyes that blinked sideways. "I bring water and food," Sunho said, placing containers near the field's edge. The translation device he carried converted his words into musical tones. One alien responded. Its voice translated to Korean. "Your kindness is unexpected. We came to take your world." "Why?" Sunho asked. "It is what we do. We find suitable worlds and integrate them into our collective. We have done this for 50,000 years. "And you never found a world like Earth?" The alien made a gesture with its 4 arms. "Heavy worlds were considered dead worlds. No intelligence could evolve in such crushing gravity. You are impossible," Sunho smiled. "Yet here we are, back in Seoul." Jin'e made a breakthrough in communications. The Luminari leader, Starweaver, requested a direct meeting with Earth's representatives. A special chamber was prepared with reduced gravity to allow the alien diplomat to function. President Minji entered the chamber with Jin'e and 2 security officers. The gravity felt strange, making them feel lightheaded as they walked. Starweaver waited inside, standing almost 3 meters tall, body swaying gently in the artificial environment. "Your species has surprised us," the alien said, its words flowing through the translator. "In our long history, we have never needed to negotiate. We simply took what we wanted." Minji stood firm despite the discomfort of reduced gravity. "Earth is not available for taking. We understand this now." Starweaver made a gesture that Jin'e recognized as respect. "Your gravity is your shield. But we have questions. How do you build in such conditions? How do your bodies withstand the crushing force? How do you reach space when escape velocity requires so much energy?" Minji glanced at Jin'e, who nodded encouragingly. "Perhaps," the president said, "we can exchange knowledge rather than threats. You have technology we don't understand. We have adapted to conditions you find impossible." Over the following days, teams of scientists and engineers from across Earth worked alongside Luminari specialists. Human physicists marveled at the alien gravity manipulation technology. Luminari biologists studied human anatomy with disbelief, amazed by the density of muscle and bone that allowed life in Earth's gravity. A month after the failed invasion, the first joint human Luminari project launched, a space station positioned between Earth and the Moon where both species could work together comfortably. The station's sections had different gravity levels, allowing both species to function. Earth had not just survived its first alien contact, it had turned potential conquerors into reluctant partners. The simple force that humans had taken for granted their entire existence had become their greatest asset among the stars. 6 months after the failed Luminari invasion, humans had made remarkable progress with alien technology. The joint research station orbiting Earth buzzed with activity as scientists from both species worked side by side. But not everyone wanted peaceful cooperation. Colonel Sun Ho walked through the underground lab where his team worked on Project Gravity. The room held equipment salvaged from crashed alien ships, now modified by human engineers. Technicians tested strange devices that altered the weight of objects, making heavy metal blocks float or causing feathers to drop like stones. "Is it ready?" Sun Ho asked Chief Engineer Mi Sun. She nodded, lifting a small disc-shaped device, the portable gravity amplifier, based on their technology but reversed. Instead of reducing gravity, it increases it. Sun Ho took the device carefully. It felt warm in his hand, pulsing with energy. "And the range?" 5-meter radius. Anyone caught inside will experience double Earth's normal gravity. For us, uncomfortable. For the Luminari, crippling, Sun Ho finished. President Minji had approved Project Gravity after learning troubling news. While some Luminari sought peaceful relations, others had not given up their conquest plans. Intelligence revealed that the alien motherships still orbiting Earth were developing new invasion strategies. That night, Sun Ho met with his Special Forces team. 20 soldiers from different countries had trained for months in enhanced gravity chambers to build their strength and endurance. They wore black uniforms with special armor derived from Luminari technology. Our mission is simple, Sun Ho told them. Board the command ship, deploy the gravity amplifiers, and secure the bridge. We need to show the Luminari that peaceful cooperation is their only option. The team launched from the joint space station in a modified shuttle. The human pilots used gravity manipulation technology to approach the massive Luminari mothership without detection. They docked at a maintenance port identified by friendly Luminari informants. As they entered the alien vessel, the soldiers activated their personal gravity stabilizers, devices that maintained Earth-normal gravity around them. The ship's interior was beautiful, with soaring ceilings and delicate structures that seemed to float in the low gravity. Remember, Sun Ho whispered, most Luminari are civilians. We target only military sections. They moved quickly through curved hallways, following maps provided by their allies. The first Luminari they encountered were maintenance workers who fled at the sight of humans. The team continued toward the ship's command center. When they reached the security zone, they faced their first resistance. Luminari guards aimed weapon-like devices at them. Before the aliens could fire, Sun Ho activated the first gravity amplifier. The effect was immediate. The field of increased gravity spread outward, causing the Luminari guards to collapse to the floor. Their slender limbs couldn't support their bodies under the doubled gravitational force. Their weapons, too delicate for the increased weight, cracked and broke in their hands. Secure them, Sun Ho ordered. His team moved forward, placing restraints on the helpless aliens. As they approached the bridge, they encountered stronger resistance. Elite Luminari soldiers wearing special suits tried to block their path. These aliens could move in higher gravity but still struggled compared to the humans. The battle was brief. Human soldiers, who had trained their entire lives under Earth's pull, easily overpowered the aliens. Sun Ho deployed additional gravity amplifiers, creating zones where even the elite Luminari forces could barely move. When they reached the bridge, they found Fleet Commander Distant Echo waiting for them. Unlike other Luminari, he stood his ground, despite the increasing gravity. You have invaded our ship, he said through a translator device. This proves humans are no different from other conquering species. Sun Ho stepped forward. We know about your new invasion plans. Your scientists are developing weapons that would work in our gravity. You still plan to take our world? Distant Echo's large eyes narrowed. Some of us believe it is our right. We have claimed hundreds of worlds. Why should Earth be different? Because we can fight back, Sun Ho said, activating another gravity amplifier directly in front of the commander. The alien leader fell to his knees, his body trembling under the crushing force. He looked up at Sun Ho with new understanding in his eyes. This is how it feels, Sun Ho explained. To be powerless against a force you cannot control. This is what you plan to do to us. Over the next few hours, human forces secured 3 more Luminari ships using the same tactics. Not a single life was lost on either side. The message was clear. Humans could defeat the Luminari at any time using their own technology against them. 2 days later, the Luminari High Council agreed to a formal peace treaty. They recognized Earth's sovereignty and promised to share technology in exchange for human biological research that might help their species adapt to higher gravity environments. Admiral Daeho, watching the signing ceremony from Earth, smiled as humans and Luminari shook hands, or in the aliens' case, touched forearms in their traditional greeting. Who would have thought, he said to Dr. Hana beside him, that our greatest weapon would be the simple force that holds us to the ground. 5 years had passed since the day the Luminari ships first appeared in Earth's skies. Ambassador Hee-jin stood at the large window of the Interstellar Embassy, watching ships come and go from the massive space station that orbited Earth. Some vessels were human-made, others belonged to alien species that humans had never seen before the Luminari arrived. The Galactic Council representatives will arrive in 1 hour, said Secretary Jun Ho, checking his tablet. All 17 species have confirmed attendance. Hee-jin nodded, adjusting her formal uniform. Today marked a historic moment, Earth's official recognition as a protected heavy world and the appointment of the first human representative to the Galactic Council. The embassy itself showed how much had changed. Separate sections maintained different gravity levels so that various species could function comfortably. Humans walked freely everywhere, but most alien visitors needed special suits or stayed in designated low-gravity zones. "Remember when we thought we were alone in the universe?" Junho asked. "Now we know there are thousands of civilized worlds," Hyejin replied. "And most of them fear us without even meeting us." After the failed Luminary invasion, news had spread quickly through the galaxy. Humans were classified as heavy worlders, beings evolved under crushing gravity that most species found unbearable. Stories about human strength became exaggerated with each retelling. Some alien cultures now believed humans could bend metal with their bare hands or jump over buildings. Tae-hyun entered the room carrying research data. As Earth's leading xenobiologist, he had studied dozens of alien species. "The latest physical comparison tests are complete," he said. "Even our weakest adults are stronger than the strongest luminary. Our bones are 5 times denser than galactic average. Our muscles can generate force that would tear apart most alien bodies." This simple fact of human biology had changed Earth's position in galactic politics. Instead of being conquered, Earth had become a valuable ally. Many species wanted human workers for tasks requiring physical strength. Others sought protection agreements. The real breakthrough had come when humans combined their natural physical advantages with alien technology. The first human ships built with gravity manipulation. Technology could travel faster and maneuver better than any others. Human space stations could withstand stress that would tear apart alien structures. Minji, now serving as Earth's president, joined them in the embassy's main hall. "The trade agreements are ready for signing," she said. "We'll provide security, forces for 5 systems in exchange for faster-than-light technology." Sunho, who had led the counter-offensive against the Luminary motherships years ago, now commanded Earth's defense fleet. "Our ships are positioned around the solar system," he reported. "All 17 visiting delegations will receive full protection during their stay." As they prepared for the ceremony, a special visitor arrived. Bright Harmony, formerly known as Distant Echo, entered the human section wearing a specially designed suit that protected him from Earth's gravity. The Luminary commander had become an unexpected ally after the failed invasion. The Rigelian delegation asked for reassurance that humans cannot actually punch through starship hulls, he said, his translator converting his musical language to Korean. Hyejin laughed. "That rumor again? Should I confirm or deny it?" Bright Harmony's expression showed amusement. "Let them wonder. Fear keeps the peace sometimes." The Grand Hall filled with representatives from across the galaxy. Each species had evolved under different conditions, some tall and thin like the Luminari, others short and stout from slightly higher gravity worlds, some with multiple limbs or unusual sensory organs. But none had Earth's gravity, which made humans unique. When President Minji stepped onto the central platform to address the gathering, the aliens watched with a mixture of respect and caution. Here stood a representative of the newest galactic power, beings who lived comfortably, in conditions that would kill most intelligent species. 5 years ago we discovered we were not alone," Minji began. "We learned that the force we take for granted, the pull that holds us to our world, is both our greatest shield and our greatest strength." As she spoke, Earth's first interstellar colony ship prepared for launch from the lunar construction facility. 1,000 humans would travel to a distant heavy world that other species could never colonize. They carried with them seeds, animals, and hopes for humanity's expansion among the stars. After the ceremony, Hyejin stood with Bright Harmony watching Earth rise above the lunar horizon. "Do you regret trying to invade us?" she asked. The alien considered the question. "We failed, but in failing we found something greater, a species unlike any other. You humans evolved fighting gravity every moment of your existence. That struggle made you strong in ways we never imagined possible." Hyejin smiled as she watched the colony ship accelerate away from the moon, carrying humanity's future to the stars. The simple force that everyone on Earth had always taken for granted had become their passport to the galaxy.